Hello everybody, it's Jim here, and today I want to show to you something very cool that you might find it useful. Now, most of you are doing analysis on TradingView, but you are using MetaTrader 5. Now, some of you may not have the option to, maybe you have one monitor or not have the option to essentially have multiple screens. So what I will show to you is how to kinda, okay, turn your MetaTrader 5 to look like TradingView. Now, and there is a specific function. Actually, let me start with the most powerful thing. Now, I don't have a template like the default template, right? Um, Now, this default is the template that it is here. But let me actually show to you. Now, in the trading view, what we like is that we can, make the candles bigger from here, and we can move the chart up, down, and stuff like that, right? So, um, let me show to you how you can do that on MetaTrader 5. Hopefully you will like it, and I will show to you a couple more stuff. Okay, now the first thing that you need to do is right click, you go over to properties, right? And do you see most of you actually have the default stuff here, okay? But I will show to you how to play around because most of you have this, and the color background is like that, and the candles are kind of different, right? Now let me show to you. No yellow. It is something like that, correct? Now, in order to change that, the first thing that you need to do is go here, remove the grid, or if you want, leave the grid here and start playing with the grid. For example, the background is black. You might want it. Maybe you want it to make it, you know, white. All right. Foreground, okay, make it black. Now you see, you can see the numbers. Bar up and bar down. Actually, grid here. Maybe you want to make it a little bit gray. Maybe this one, you know. Um, bar up, you can change that, make it whatever you want, green, blue, whatever. Bar down, let's say red. Um, bull candle. All right. Now this, by the way, bar up, it's the outside of the candle, and I will show to you what do I mean. Now, bear candle, you can make it red. Now, another thing that you can do is you could turn this black and this black, right? Line chart here, volumes. It is here, here or here. This one. You can remove that if you don't want. I don't. I never use that. All right. In order to have more room in the chart. And let's go. I mean, you could play with that stop levels, ask bid, which is those lines. But the most important is to be able to move the chart up, down, and stuff like that. So you go over here that says common, all right, and you click this one. Now, most of you haven't. 99% of the people that I have talked, they haven't even, they don't mess with that. Most of those, they leave those as is, and some, play with that. So we click on that. Now we could click on that as well, right? And maybe you want to make it that back, right? Now this one, I don't click that. Okay, I have this one. Okay, and do it like that or like that, and hit OK. Now you might say, actually, let me remove the indicator. For now, we don't want that. And by the way, I don't use the ICT. I have my own custom time frame. Now you might say, like, what's going on? Obviously, we can, um, you know, zoom in, zoom out. We can unclick that because this push all the chart all the way to the front. This one, if you want to have more stuff here, you can, or maybe the price is not like that. And here, when you click that, you so it put the chart always to the top, to the all the way here. Now, what I like to do is to make it, bring it a little bit here. But now let's go into the actual thing. Now, if I put the mouse here, you will see I am able to go here and do my analysis. Isn't that cool or not? And if I double click here, I believe, yeah, it brings me here. Now let's go over into the other thing. Is you remember this one, right? Now look at this. Right? And I can bring that or not, doesn't matter. Actually, I want to have this, right? And as I am like that, if I double click, not even double, yeah, double, right? I can go here. I can make that a little bit bigger. I mean, the only thing that it doesn't have is the zoom with the scroll, right? And if I want, by the way, to go all the way to the top, I can click that one and so I can unclick that and play with the chart, maybe. And by the way, I can move the chart with the scroll, okay, but I cannot like open it as like zoom on that spot, like open the candles. But doesn't really matter, right? I can do my analysis very easy, right? I can click that, and as I am here, click, double click, okay. Very cool stuff. That's the first thing. Now, some of you ask me like, hey, it has a timer here, guys. You can get a free timer indicator. Actually, I will attach one. If you don't use, I use like a trade manager in order to calculate um, the position size. But let's say you don't use one, doesn't matter. Actually, let me remove that, and I can go over to the expert list and Dodge. Yeah, remove that. Now I'm in a crypto because it actually moves, so you will be able to see um, the chart, and you could add this one, and you could have like full interface countdown. With full interface, it means it will show the spreads and how much time it left for the bar to close on the time frame that you watch. You could have the format here. You could have notification. You know, you could have multiple stuff, but the most important is that one and that one, how it will look. Now let me add it as is. Left upper chart corner. I can click OK. Boom. 11 minutes and 6 hours. And 6 hours. Oh my God. 11 minutes and 1 second. And let's say you don't, I mean, you could play with a color indicator, double click. You could play with that. You could play with that. Right. Okay. Okay. You could have, a little bit more stuff, a little bit more compact. Um, um, all right. And let's go over to um, no indicator. Let me actually show to you. Now we don't want full, we want only countdown. And let's say we want to the lower, right lower chart, which will be here. Okay. Boom. Now it did go here, right? This position suck, but let me actually show to you. So I can go again and click here, and it says here I can modify. So let's put like 150 and put here 150 font size. I don't care. Now here, this position suck. I mean, I don't want it here. I want it here. So let me play with that. And it says horizontal spacing for the control. This for, okay, let me change one of the two. Let me change that 100. So I will see what will happen. Okay. Okay, I want it so this, make it like that. So let me make it 80. And this I want it a little bit down. So let me make this 100 to see how much down it will go. Okay, I don't want that. Uh, Maybe 90. And this one I want it at, I don't know, 90. All right, I want it maybe a little bit more down. Which could be um, 80. No, 60. Maybe it's perfect, maybe it's not. 50. No, maybe I want it 40. Maybe I want it in the middle. So I can, okay, now it's not, it lag. My PC, I have many things open. But you get the idea. All right, I'm back. I just restarted um, the MetaTrader 5. So back to what I was saying is we had here the Doge. Now back to what I was saying is indicator. Maybe I don't want it all the way down. Maybe I want it in the middle, right? So you could play with that. And the next thing is another thing that I wanted to show to you is scale fix, and we could make it this one, something like that. Now we can, of course, zoom in, zoom out, okay. But as you could see, it has like if I cut the chart, I cannot move it a lot more down if I want, because it takes the highest of the point, because price have not go higher than that, right? But let's say I want to do that. Why not? I can click properties, and I can have it here that says maximum. I can change 4,000. Okay, I can double click, so Can be like that. All right. Cover is 0. Oh, nope. And I can go, let me check something. 4,000 and here 0 and like that. And I can zoom in, zoom out. You see? Now I have a lot of room. Move it. I can make it bigger. I can double click, brought it to the right place. And the next thing that I want to do in order to not do it again, by the way, as you could see here, I don't have the um, ground. I can here just uncheck it or have it and play with the colors, the color scheme. And let's say I like that, right? Let me fix that. Come on, and let's say 1, 2, 3. Now this, in order to not be changed again. Oh my God. All right, come on. And what I can do is template, save template, name it default. Now I can name it something else. Let's name it gold. Um, Now why we want I would put it default because every time that I would open MetaTrader 5, it would automatically use this template as default, right? And I could, let's say I want to drop another indicator, or let's say I want to drop, um, yeah, let's say I want to put like a trading session box. I can put starting hour, finishing hour, starting hour, finishing hour, and I will use the default. I don't use the default. I have my own custom time zones, and we could see here this one right now, right, right. Not many people know about this, and let's say let's actually say that I have more time zones inside. I don't know, New York, right? Let's say, and by the way, this is a free indicator, right? You could find it on a marketplace or just a box indicator, session indicator that let you change the times, right? You could put the hours. Okay, let's say I don't use um, Asia. I use only New York, for example. And by the way, because here it says London, it doesn't mean that you need to use London, right? But let's say you use, Asia and London and New York. Obviously, when you sleep, it's, your thing. But at the end of the day, don't think something like that as like that it is specific for that session. Think about it as a box. Okay, so you could have two boxes in a New York. Let's actually show to you indicator list, and let's say here, so it start, let's say, from 13 to 22. Let's say I have one session between I don't know, 19 and let's say here I have another one from 15 to 18, right? And you only need to enable that box, right? And I can change the colors as well. You see, I can go here, I can make that bigger. And if you don't see that box, before you do anything, you need to always go to the template, save template, click on gold, save. Yes. Because if I reload the template, I will see it. Okay. But if you add, what I want to show to you is if I add more of those indicators, I always go here, template, template, save template, save template. Click the template that you're working. So next time that you open, you don't need to redo that. Back to what I was saying is think of this as as box. Now, let's say you want more of those indicator lists, and let's say actually let's do it like that, and let's say we want one more from 12 to 13. Now we could change colors. I mean, this is not you know training about that. We could have the same color for all. Okay. Now template save gold. Now, what if we have more sessions, more than three? Okay. Now, not many people would know that, but you could actually, drop this again. Where was that? Drop it again. Make one between, I don't know, 0, 7 and 730 and 0.9 and and we could have this one as well. So indicator issue. Now it doesn't matter, but always save the template. It's not about this indicator. This is how MetaTrader 5 works. Okay. Yes. I reload the template. You see, and I can name. By the way, I don't need to have that name. I can remove the name. Doesn't matter. All right. And it's not about this indicator. I could essentially change a lot of you know um, that stuff. I have that option here. But any box indicator, you could do something like that, right? And essentially, it will give you a little more flexibility on your MetaTrader 5 to make it look a little bit more as trading view, right? That's all. Hope you like it. Maybe you want to like the video. Maybe you want to subscribe. Maybe not. If you don't subscribe, it would be your loss. Uh, and see you on the next one. Bye, guys. Cheers.